Joan Collins, 90, radiates old Hollywood glamour as she poses with Pierce Brosnan at Prince's Trust Lunch in Beverly Hills. Dame Joan Collins radiated showbiz glamour when she surfaced in Beverly Hills this week for a glamorous event with her fifth husband, Percy Gibson. The legendary actress betrayed no hint of her 90 years as she posed up a storm at the Maybourne Hotel on Percy's arm. Percy, the longest-lasting of Joan's husbands, is more than 30 years younger than she is, a gap she dismisses in interviews by joking, "If he dies, he dies." They were attended the Prince's Trust ex-Dame Joan Collins DBA lunch, honoring Joan's association with the charity founded by the now King Charles II in the 1970s. While there, she stood for pictures with James Bond turned silver fox Pierce Brosnan, 70, who flashed his unmistakable smile for the cameras. For their latest outing, she teamed a sleek hot pink jacket with an elegant frock that featured a black and pink floral pattern straight out of the Dynasty era. Sharpening her features with makeup including a slick of rose lipstick, she festooned herself with jewelry including an elaborate necklace. Pierce was seated at Joan's side during lunch, where the guest of honor rose to her feet at one point to cheerfully address the attendees. The celebrity-strewn guest list included Renfield heartthrob Nicholas Hoult, who went ultra-casual in a t-shirt that bared his toned arms, Victoria Gore, Margaret McKinney, Jeremy Green, and Stephen Fry all gathered together with Pierce, Joan, and Nicholas for a group shot to remember. Paris Hilton's mother, Kathy Hilton, was also on hand for the festivities, which she attended alongside her steamy son, Baron Hilton. Joan received her damehood in 2015 and was presented with the honor by Charles, then Prince of Wales, who remarked, "And about time, too." At the moment, Joan is still twirling about in the publicity whirlwind for her 19th and latest book, Behind the Shoulder Pads, Tales I Tell My Friends. Appearing on KCAL News in Los Angeles last week, she clarified that her new release is not really a memoir, so I don't do all that stuff about, oh, my parents, and all of that, which a lot of people think. Oh, I don't want to read about her childhood and stuff. You can go and read my other books. Meanwhile, Behind the Shoulder Pads is filled with funny stories and anecdotes, stretching back to her early career in the waning years of old Hollywood. The book is sprinkled with names of her glittering acquaintances, such as Marlon Brando, Marilyn Monroe, Frank Sinatra, and Gene Kelly. One childhood story she did include in her new book was her hilarious reaction upon the birth of her little sister, the late Jackie Collins. Joan recalled on television that when I was 4 years old, I was woken up and taken off to stay with an aunt for no reason whatsoever. I didn't know. And then when I came back 3 days later, my mother was lying there holding this creature. Looking the baby, little girl demanded, "What's that?" And her mother Elsa replied, "This is your new baby sister, Jacqueline Jill." To which Joan snapped, "What a stupid name. Can I go and play with my cat?" Joan then asked, "Where did she come from?" And her parents duly prevaricated. They didn't tell me where she came from. Jackie, who enjoyed a thunderous career as a writer of bonkbuster romance novels, died in 2015 at the age of 77 after a secret 6-year battle with breast cancer. By contrast to the sparkling froth of Joan's latest book, her previous releases include Past Imperfect, a searing 1978 memoir pulling back the curtain on the dark side of her showbiz career and her marriages. The book had no shortage of sinister moments, such as when 20th Century Fox chief Daryl Zanuck attempted to force himself on her in a hotel hallway. "I wondered how to get out of this without having to knee him in the groin," she wrote. Luckily, Dorothy Dandridge and a makeup man came walking down the corridor, and I made my escape, vowing to keep out of Mrs. Z's way in the future. Joan was married at 18 to her first husband, Maxwell Reed, an actor who drugged and raped her on the first date, then left her to make her way home alone. In the 50s, a girl could walk around London streets in the dark and not be concerned about muggers or rapists, she wrote in Past Imperfect. Since I had been raped once that evening anyway, the odds were against it. Their brief, turbulent marriage ultimately ended after he tried to sell her for a night to an Arab sheikh for £10,000, prompting her to leave him. Her subsequent husbands included Anthony Newley, with whom she welcomed her daughter Tara and her son Saka. She also wed former Beatles manager Ron Cass, who fathered her daughter Katie, and ex-pop act Peter Holm, whom she dismissively refers to now as the Swede. Make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on anything.